Hello everybody, it's Red Panda Gamer here for Play or Pass, a review show where I play a bit of a game and tell you what I think of it. In this very exciting special episode, we're going to be playing the re-release of Sonic the Fighters. I'm playing on Xbox Live Arcade, but it's also available on the PlayStation Network and will soon be available on the PC on Steam. This game is only $5, which already should tell you should buy it, because how often does a game ever come up on Xbox Live for less than $10? This game is kind of continuing along this nice tradition of Sega games being re-released. The most recent re-release from Sega would have been Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, or Sonic Adventure 2, which I also did a review of, and if you want to watch that, it'll probably be somewhere on screen. And I also just did my review of Virtual Fighter 2, which also came out the same day and is also $5. Now, Sonic the Fighters is a bit of an interesting beast because it never came out on console, technically. It was originally an arcade game. Which already is awesome. Like, I personally just think arcade games are super sweet, especially arcade games that are made. I like when IPs are taken and made in a specific way just for arcade. There's also a Mega Man game where all you do is fight Robot Masters, and unfortunately that game has never been re-released, which I really hope it is. So this is like it's a quote-unquote full game. Most people compare it to Sonic R, which I don't think is very fair. For those of you who know Sonic R, it's a god-awful racing game. But most people compare it to Sonic R for two reasons. One, because the graphic style is pretty similar, and the other reason is it was included in the Gem Collection that came out on the GameCube and the PlayStation 2. So this game is weird. I'm going to just say that right now. It is not a game you'd expect to see ever. It is a Sonic the Hedgehog fighting game, which is kind of weird. A lot of people think it's bad, which kind of bugs me because it's actually not. It's no Super Smash Brothers, that's for sure, and if you're a fan of Sonic, you'll be disappointed with like the speed of the game. It's a pretty slow game. I'm playing as Sonic right now, by the way. But it's interesting. It's one of those games that I mostly recommend playing with a friend. One of my favorite YouTube channels, Continue, they do gameplay videos with, it's three guys who all do gameplay videos together, and they basically just play a game for a little while and talk about it and decide whether they keep playing it or not. Everyone should subscribe to them. They're one of the best channels on YouTube. I just kicked Knuckles' ass. But they did this, and even though none of them really liked it, they all seem to really enjoy it, and I kind of get that vibe from it. Like, this especially is a really cool party game. What the hell just happened? Did I disconnect my controller? That was really weird. It just wasn't letting me move. But I'm in the first match, so Knuckles really isn't trying at all. And there's actually a surprising amount of depth in this game, believe it or not. The combat's pretty good in some ways. There's some really, really cheap fighters in this game, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. The barrier system is really cool. What the? Amy, you bitch. How dare you distract me like that? The barrier system is interesting and will be one of the biggest advantages you have over your computer is the AI's inability to understand the concept of saving their barriers for when they actually need it. So the game, you have to win 2 rounds, or I mean you can always change it, but the standard default is 2 rounds. And in those 2 rounds, you get 5 barriers. You can always raise that number or lower it. And those are your only barriers you get for the entire game. So you only get 5 barriers for I guess the most rounds could be is 5 rounds. And after they're gone, and you can't defend yourself anymore. So when you're fighting, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find a good way to explain this. The cool thing about it, like, 'cause see, that's what I like about it. It's important when you give a block move or a shield of some sort. It's very important that you make it so it can be broken in some way. And in Super Smash Brothers, they literally made it so it broke, and the other person gets a free hit. In this game, you're limited on your barrier, which I think is genius. Once you waste it, that's it. And so it forces you to learn how often you should really use your barriers. So I think that's really cool. Also, there's a fair amount of moves in this game, which is cool, but at the same time a little awkward, because it has the same issue that I had with Virtual Fighter, is it's really hard to tell when you actually succeed in doing a move, because it's a little bit easier because this game has a bit more signature move style. But it's funny because you'll be playing and you'll be like, wow, I'm doing all these cool moves, like look at this, I turn into, you know, I'll do Sonic's roll move and blah blah blah, and then you'll fight like yourself in this game, because at some point in the game you do fight yourself, and then they are doing crazy combos, and you're like, how do they do that? And, but you don't know. I mean, you can go to, it's got the same layout as Virtual Fighter 2. You can go to the command list and you can look and like, okay, here you go, double punch, punch kick, okay, you got all these. And you get some crazy ones like rush spin, which I could never do. You have some grabs, volley toss, wind up punch. So you have all these different moves, and it can be kind of difficult to actually do them. But at the end of the day, you really don't even have to do them. I mean, you can get a good enough combo going with some of the more basic moves. I love that there's a replay. I don't know why, I just love replays and fighting moves. So, I like the fighting style. Like, I'm just kind of surprised with how much I like this game. Like, when I first heard it was coming out on Xbox Live and PC and all that, I was like, oh my god, I have to do a review of this game. It's such a bad game. Like, it's such a hilariously bad game. And then I was starting to look into it more, and I'm like, you know, it's not that bad. Like, it really doesn't look that bad. But obviously I didn't know for sure. I wasn't going to know until I played it for myself, and after playing it, and actually I played it for about an hour before I started recording it, or before I started recording this review. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I actually was really happy with it. I was kind of addicted. Now, like I said, there are some really dickish enemies, and that's going to happen no matter what you do when you play these games. And that's fine. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention about barriers is you can actually sacrifice your barrier to basically go into super, well, not really super Sonic, but super mode, which is kind of cool. You know, you have to, you got to make decisions in this game, and I feel like that's a really important thing. Is when you're playing a fighting game, you need to be able to, when you're making a fighting game, you need to be able to make your player make decisions besides punch, kick, block, all that. There needs to be like another layer of decision making, and in this game it's what you do with your barriers. Do you use them to block attacks, or do you use them to use like this super mode that lets you attack much faster and you do much more damage? There's also grabs in this grabs in this game, which I guess I haven't shown any of yet, and Tails is just demolishing me. Like I said, this game can get really freaking cheap. I mean, I'm getting destroyed right now. You can get juggled like it's nobody's business, and of course, it takes a lot of precision to juggle, for me anyway, and it's kind of one of those things where the AI is a complete and total advantage. Also, grabs are way too strong in this game. I really can't stand that in a game when they make their grabs really overpowered. Alright, so I got my... Oh god. Come on. Come on! Hit him. Oh god. Okay, so I might as well move on. So gameplay I do like, and I do think it's actually pretty good, even though I just got my ass kicked by freaking Miles, Tails Prowler. Graphics. I complained a little bit about... Well, actually, I kind of liked Virtual Fighter's graphics, so I really didn't complain that much about them. And I'm not going to complain much about this one's either. I really, really like the graphics of this game. Sure, the awkward... Like, it's very shapely. It's very obviously shapely. But the backgrounds are beautiful. They're so good. And this one, too. I like this level especially because I like that that you're on this boat and the whole level is shaking. But then on top of that, there's another layer of awesomeness where you can actually go under a tunnel, and then the lighting changes. Now that sounds like such a simple, stupid thing to be like, oh wow, the lighting changes, that's so cool. But it really kind of is. Any kind of aesthetic change in any kind of level is, I think it's always kind of cool. And it can't be the easiest thing in the world to do, and it's just good level design. Having a level that keeps changing. I think it's really important. Alright, so we got a round 3 going on here. And actually, yeah, because earlier I said 5 rounds, which that only would make sense if it was if it was like best of 3 or something like that, but you only have to win 2 rounds. So yeah, I like this game a lot. I like the graphics an awful lot. Like, it's kind of disgusting how much I like the graphics. And I like the fighting style, even though I think it's really, really cheap. There's a character in this game that throws bombs at you, and my god, it's terrible. Or there's also a character that shoots at you and will just continue shooting at you no matter what. Kind of like the Ryu Hadouken. You also get special tips, which they show you these different moves. They're not really tips, though. They're just moves, which I can access from the command list. But I'm pretty sure there wasn't a command list when this first came out. I would have loved to have played this in the arcade. I'm not gonna lie. So this is the character that has guns. He's a cheap piece of shit, and this is Bean. He or she, I don't really know, throws bombs. Also a cheap piece of shit. And you know, the thing is, I don't really recognize... I know this guy is from Sonic... what's that game called? Okay, Team Chaotix. Yeah, I know there's Team Chaotix. Oh, this is part of the plot, too, by the way, is anytime you fight your own character, Eggman will come and basically make an evil, negative version of you. Knuckles is, in my opinion, the best character. I mean, he's the most fun. He's the most obvious choice for best character. And one of the complaints I had about Virtual Fighter 2, and if you watch that review, you already know this, but I'll say it again, is one of my biggest problems in a lot of fighting games is when every character doesn't feel like their own individual character, like when they just feel like a reskinned version of someone else. Smash Brothers does it with a lot of characters, but that, you know, it's fine. It's an easy way to make more content, which, I mean, I'm not complaining about that. It's when all the characters have that issue. Like, when I was playing Virtual Fighter, I really didn't feel that much of a difference between the characters. Like, I felt like, that, okay, some of them did have a different type of punch or a different type of stance or something, but I always felt like they genuinely felt the same. In this game, I actually feel like most of the characters feel pretty different. Their special skills all set them kind of far apart. Amy has a hammer, Knuckles has his flying ability and his fists, Sonic does, you know, that's one thing though, I really didn't notice that many different, Sonic felt very generic, which I guess makes sense, like Mario and Super Smash Brothers feels pretty generic as well. There's the characters that use guns, there's characters that use bombs, oh god, Metal Sonic's in this game and you can unlock them. Metal Sonic is really difficult, he's really fast, he shoots a beam out of his chest, he has most of the same moves as Sonic though, except Sonic doesn't shoot a beam out of his chest. But I really like this game. I'm really happy with it. It's only $5, so there's no reason for you not to pick it up. I'm actually going to exit this now. I just wanted to show some gameplay of Knuckles because I figured there'd be some people interested in it. As I said, this game also, like Virtual Fighter, has a online mode, which I totally just screwed up trying to get to. There we go. Navigating the menus can be a little weird because there's like an over menu that's like, there's like the Xbox menu, like for the re-release of the game, then there's the actual game menu, which you can only get out of if you hit exit, but it's fine. So there's ranked and player matches. We'll just go ahead and do ranked because more people use ranked anyway. Because what's the point of fighting if it's not for anything? So I did a couple matches, both of which I lost, which I will probably lose in this time too. I'm not that good at this game either, but I do enjoy it a bit more. And I probably enjoy it a bit more because I like Sonic and I like the backgrounds, so I don't really mind as much. So we're fighting someone who's equally as bad, if not maybe worse, because he's only played one game and lost one game. Similar scoring, you get 1 point for losing, you get 4 points for winning, so. Come on, start the game. Come on. I'm recording a video, Deadly Ninja XX. I never understood why people put the XX's in their accounts. I never really got that. Finally, dick. I'm gonna play as Knuckles, maybe if he moves. I don't want to play as the same character as him. I don't know what he's gonna do. I'm just gonna wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. What do you do? Okay. I'm just gonna play as. Okay. Oh, good. So you're probably gonna get to see how cheap this character can be, because I imagine this person's gonna use his bombs. And I seriously do not know what game this character is from. If you know, please let me know. I mean, I'll probably look it up in a little bit, but I have no idea. And I am kind of wiping the floor with this guy. Probably not someone who's ever played this before. Yeah. See, there you go. There's that shitty ass bomb. See, the problem with bomb attack is it knocks you down, so you can't get up fast enough. See, look at this fucking asshole. Oh my god. And the other problem, yeah, that's the problem. The bombs are like homing. They home into you. My god. Yeah, see, this person won just because he threw bombs. Fucking bullshit. You can't throw that far. There we go. So we'll just have to play the range game. And it's kind of funny because he's a ranged fighter because he throws bombs. But he... Oh, jeez. That's a strong move. Boom! There we go. So if I just keep hitting him, I think he realizes that if he just throws bombs, I'll just walk backward. Oh, I'm an idiot. I should have just used my barrier. See, that's the other thing. I'm so used to using my barriers as like an attack booster that I don't really ever use... Oh, shit. I don't really ever use it for actually deflecting anything. Yeah! Don't mess with... Oh, come on. I was out of the way of it. Oh, God. Come on, grab him. There we go. That was a grab move, even though it just looked like a normal kind of... Yeah, you know what I mean. Urgh, break his barriers! Breaking barriers. Okay, you're just wasting your time now. I don't know why he knew he was going to lose, because of time up. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's funny how this game, which has characters that have been known to jump unbelievably high, the jumps are still way lower than the jumps in Virtual Fighter 2. And possibly other Virtual Fighters. I have no idea. You cheap piece of shit. Learn how to play the game. Stop throwing bombs like a jerk. And I don't care what you say. Like I always hate when people try to justify. Like, no, it's a legitimate tactic. Keep throwing bombs over and over again so you can't do anything. Does that sound legitimate to you? Does that sound fair? Well, I beat Deadly Ninja. Not so deadly now. More like Dead Lee, the ninja. Look at that sassy. Sonic looks so sassy. Oh my god. Alright, so I won a match, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video now because I don't want to embarrass myself. Once again, I complained about this with Virtual Fighter. I don't really complain about it as much with this one because it's a little bit easier to get the hang of. But the fact that there's no practice mode I think is a little ridiculous. All fighting games should always have a practice mode. I don't know how hard it is to program something like that into a game. But it's really hard to learn a game when all your only options are playing online, playing with a friend, or playing arcade mode. Now, granted, that first fight is disgustingly easy, so you can take that time to learn some of your moves. But it's just nice to have a practice mode option because the characters don't die. They kind of keep coming closer to you so they don't like fall out of the ring or whatever, even though this game doesn't have ring outs. It's just, I don't know how much work goes into making a practice mode. And once again, this game is an arcade game, so there wouldn't have been a practice mode for an arcade game, and normally with ports like this, they don't really put that much into the port itself. So that's more understandable for this game since it's a port of an arcade game. But I really feel like it can't be that hard to add a practice mode. But I say play this game, even if you're not... It's funny, because this is the exact opposite I said for Virtual. Like, if you've never played this game, I still recommend it. Because it's a silly game, it's a good game to play with friends, and it's just kind of fun. It's fun to play a Sonic fighting game, you know. It's actually kind of good. It's intuitive and it's fun. And once you get good at it, you know you're good at it, and you can take it online. And I believe there are a substantial amount more people that got this game. Oh, and also there's achievements, which I already have almost all of. Okay, awesome. That's kind of crazy. My gamer score shot way up today, I guess. But let's go ahead and see. I'm curious. So there's 1,048 people. So 300 more people than there were playing Virtual Fighter. No surprise, it's a Sonic game. So I say play. If you've never played it before, it's totally worth it now. Online playability, $5, which is so cheap. And it's just a silly game. It's fun. So I say play it, guys. So like I said, it's going to be available on Xbox Live Arcade and the PlayStation Network. I believe it comes out in Europe on the 5th of December. I could be wrong. And it's supposed to come out on PC eventually. They don't really have a specific date for it, but it is supposed to come out. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video, favorite this video, comment this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if there's any games coming out soon that you'd like to see a review of, let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. See you next time.